And we are live in New York City for day 3 of jury selection in the historic hush money trial of former President Trump. Just ahead, why the judge has now dismissed 2 previously selected jurors. I'm Nichole Berlie at our headquarters in Chicago. We start this hour with the hush money criminal trial of former President Trump. It has been an eventful morning with the judge dismissing 2 of the 7 jurors who had already been seated. He also called out some in the press for giving out too many details on jurors' employment. As for the defendant, the former president in court again today, he does face felony counts of falsifying business records to hide an alleged affair that prosecutors say Trump feared would hurt his 2016 campaign. NewsNation's Dre Clark is live for us outside of the Manhattan courthouse. And Dre, jury selection is set to resume in just a few minutes.
Yeah, hello again, Nichole. Court will resume at 2:15 local time after a lunch break. But as you noted, it's been quite a morning or quite a day so far. This morning, we started off with 7 jurors who had been selected and sworn in on Tuesday. That number is now back down to 5. Let's talk about what happened here. Juror number 4, prosecutors raised concerns about his past political activity, saying that they came across information that showed him tearing down political signs in the 1990s. They also say that he was somehow connected to a corruption inquiry in the 1990s. There was a conversation between juror number 4, the attorneys, and the judge, and ultimately it was decided that juror number 4 would be excused. Then there was juror number 2, a woman who told the judge she slept on it and she has a change of heart. She does not feel that she can be fair and impartial. Also telling the judge that she had some concerns about her identity being released after friends and family members called asking her if, in fact, she was serving on the Trump jury after certain personal and professional information was released about her in the media. The judge honored her request and she was excused. The judge then admonishing the media and telling the media that going forward, do not write any information in the way of physical description or disclose what profession any prospective juror or in-panel juror is a part of, because in his opinion, that's a form of juror intimidation, and it is not a good thing to do. So now we still have to hit that number, which is 18, 12 jurors and 6 alternates. We're now at 5. Before today's events, the judge was pretty confident we might have opening statements on Monday. That may not happen now that there has been a bit of a setback here. 96 new potential jurors were called into the courtroom this morning. More than half of them have now been excused because either they claim they are not impartial or they were released for other reasons. We did have a chance to speak to one of those jurors who had been excused, and he says, yes, he does believe that Donald Trump can and will get a fair trial here in Manhattan, but he says he was in no way about to sit on that jury knowing he could not be impartial. Take a listen.
By some sleight of hand, I had been put on that jury or accepted for the jury, that eventually my paintings and my posts on Instagram and Facebook would come to light, and that would be weaponized by the defense.
And what type of paintings and posts on Instagram are you referring to?
The many that I've done satirizing Trump.
Another thing that happened here in court this morning, prosecutors saying that once again, Mr. Trump violated the gag order in at least 7 different instances that they have discovered online. They are now asking the judge to again hold Mr. Trump in contempt of court. Remember, there was already a hearing scheduled for next Tuesday dealing with prior claims of Mr. Trump violating the gag order, and the prosecution asking for him to be held in contempt. The judge says that he will deal with all of those matters on Tuesday when that hearing takes place.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.